Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the Arm Skaha II. This is a knife that I am very excited to get my hands on. So excited, in fact, that I have been on a wait list for quite some time for one of these. I think I signed up in April. Have not gotten my turn yet, but one of my readers did. Thank you very much, Ryan, for sending this along. I very much appreciate it, but I'm also kind of mad at him about it because I'm still waiting to get my hands on one, and I love it, and I'm not going to be able to get one for quite a while. This is a very hyped knife. This has been kind of the talk of the YouTube world, so much so that it, as my previous story would indicate, it's pretty hard to get your hands on one. This is the epitome of the Nick Shabazz effect. He did a review of the original Arm Skaha, I don't know, over a year ago, and they've not been able to keep up ever since. They do have a really good pre-order system now. I'm just waiting for my turn to come up. You can sign up on their site to get an email. They'll send you an email when it's your turn. You've got 72 hours to pay, and then you'll get it in a fairly decent amount of time after that. So I can see why there's a waiting list, though. This thing is great. The hype is real. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to watch the rest of this, I love this just as much as I thought I would. Thank you, and screw you, Ryan, for sending this to me, because I really want mine even more now. It is a very cool knife. It looks pretty basic. S35 VN, G10, only G10 here. Very minimalist liners here on the inside, just enough to hold the liner lock. And running on bearings, super smooth action. Wire clip, that's a new change to the Skaha II model. Only 3 ounces. Just simple but awesome. Damn near EDC perfection. We will get into why first of all, but if somehow you've managed to avoid watching other Skaha II reviews, we'll do some stats to get that out of the way first so you know what we're talking about. We have an overall length of 7.75 inches, blade length of 3.3 inches, very thin blade stock, just 0.10 inch blade stock, and handle thickness of a little over 0.6 of an inch. So fairly thick handle, but we'll get to why that's a good thing as the time goes on here during this review. Do some size comparisons, compare it to your Spyderco Delica. A little bit bigger than a Delica, as you can see. Another one of our standards, Spyderco PM2. It's a little smaller than a PM2. Cutting edge wise, though, it's not dramatically different, as you can see there if I try and line those cutting edges up. A knife that's very similar in size and shape and stuff, your WE Practic. This has the forward choil, so you're getting more cutting edge out of the Skaha. And lastly, another knife that I don't usually use for comparisons. It's also a bit hard to get, so I thought it would be a good thing to compare it to. Not as hard to get, though. This is the Three Rivers Manufacturing Neutron. A little bigger than the Neutron is. Another knife I had to wait a while for, but not as long as I waited for this. All right, let's talk about the design of this knife. As I said, pretty simple. It does come in many colors. I will say, get that out of the way. This is the natural G10 because the actual owner of this, Ryan, intends on dyeing it to another color. So if you're going to dye it, you might as well get the natural G10. It also comes in a blue, a black, a green, and an orange. I think I'll probably get the black or the blue. I'm not really sure. I've had to wait so long that I keep changing back and forth which one I want. A very cool visual detail that's very distinct to the Arm is the way that they do their blade finish. They kind of leave some of the machining marks in there, and it looks really cool. I really do like that a lot. It's a very shiny, almost mirror, but it has all these lines through it. They etch their logo in. It's just really cool. And you've just got the Arm logo there, S35 VN, the steel, and made in British Columbia. It's from Canada, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and the design, as I said, very simple. Simple construction, just the 2 standoffs here and the pivot up there. Very minimalist kind of lanyard hole, wire pocket clip, And the value and the price is not too bad either. I didn't get that in the specs. $186.75. So you would think a knife this hard to get a hold of is going to be super expensive. Like, oh, it's probably going to be a $300 or $400 knife. No, it's only $186.75. That's not too shockingly awful. It's just they they're a very small company, and they just have a hard time keeping up. That's the only reason why they take a long time to get, because it's a really cool knife. Now, when it comes to this blade, very thin behind the edge. I measured it like 16 thousandths behind the edge. It's very thin, very slicey. I didn't do a lot of heavy duty cutting with this because it is a hard knife to get and it is not mine. I cut some paper and stuff like that and it slid through everything awesomely. Very sharp out of the box, absolutely. They do a great job with that. They did change the sharpening choil on this new one, and now it's very useful, very well done. It's going to be pretty easy to take care of. S35VN's pretty easy to take care of. But the thing I like the most about this, I guess it's tied. This is 1. The other thing is 1A. Number 1 I like about it, most people rave about the action, which is great, but that's kind of my 1A favorite thing about this. My favorite thing is the ergonomics on this are just outstanding. As I said, the handle's a bit thick, but man, it's perfectly shaped. It is so freaking comfortable in the hand. It is just amazing. This wire clip, you hardly even feel it, and when you do, it's wire, so it does kind of depress a little bit. Oh man, for my hands, this is perfect. The only thing I can feel is I can feel the lock bar, but that's it, and that's barely. It's just perfect. Jimping is right where I want it. It just falls right directly to my hand. Again, just like the blade shape, you know, it's simple drop point. It's just a simple, everything about this is just perfectly simple. I really, really do like it. It is awesome. Now, carry-wise with that thick handle, it's still fine. It slides in out of the pocket easy. It's got this nice lightweight wire clip. It's a deep carry style clip, but you still have a bit sticking up there, but it's fine. I do like that they recessed the screw here. That's really nice. A lot of people don't do that. Goes in and out of the pocket super easy. Carries very well. Yes, it does have a flipper tab. I guess the original ones had a bit larger flipper tab. They made it smaller and chamfered it a bunch, and it does help. It's in the pocket. It is going to stick out in your pocket. It is going to bang on stuff, but it's not crazy. It doesn't bother my fingers at all, that's for sure. And again, it's lightweight. It's 3 ounces, so not a lot of weight in your pocket. Now, the thing everybody else raves about on this, even more than the ergonomics, is the action, which is freaking great. It's really, really good. Detent on it is just perfect. It's just perfect. And I've never seen a reviewer complain to say his is light or his is too strong. And usually, especially on lower volume knives like this, you're going to get a few that need to be adjusted a little bit. I've never seen anyone complain on it yet. Their attention to detail and their quality is just apparently consistent, because I've seen no one complain about it. And bang, just drop, shutty. And this has nothing done to it. I have not taken it apart. The guy who got it played with it for a day and sent it to me. He didn't take it apart either. The only thing I did is I did turn one screw a quarter turn because the blade wasn't quite perfectly centered. I turned one screw a quarter turn and it's been fine. But oh my lord. The action on it is really great. The more I flip it, maybe that is my favorite thing about it. No, it's still the ergonomics. It's just, it fits in the hand so well. But this is addictive. Now, it's all G10, so it doesn't make a very satisfying noise. If you're a guy who likes a big clink bang, you know, you're not going to get that out of this. It's just not one that does that. You know, like, for instance, what's something I got? Yeah, here's even like the Wii rectifier. It's G10 on one side, but it makes a much more satisfying sound. It doesn't make that hollow, you know, kind of sound. But other than the noise, it's just great. It's such good action, such good ergonomics. I don't know what else to say other than this knife is just amazing. And it's $186.75. I think the price is just about right. Yeah, if this was a full-on production thing, I might, with this much G10 and this little metal and S35VN, maybe I expect it to be $150 or whatever. But yeah, this is a made in British Columbia low-volume knife. I think that is ridiculously cheap. And the way that they're selling these things and the way the wait list on it is on them, maybe I'm an evil corporate greed asshat, but if I was making these, I'd start charging $250 for them, and I bet you'd still sell as many as you could make because they're having a hard time keeping up. I jacked the price up. They did a bit from the original Skaha that was, I think, $170. Now this is $186.75, so they did jack it up a bit. But man, I'd have gone worse with that. Maybe I'm just a bad person, but very, very, very cool knife, and the hype is real. It is just as good as everyone else has said that it is. So I'm just joining the chorus. As I said, I put in my email on April 15th, so we'll see when I get mine. Hoping by the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if it's early next year. I know that everybody who just got theirs put in their order in March, and they had a huge order in March, so I don't know what size the April one is, and I was a bit late in the April one, so we'll see when mine shows up. But it's worth the wait. I'll wait for it. This is cool. This is great. Is it the perfect EDC? Man, it's not far off. It's pretty darn good. You can definitely make an argument for this being one of the best EDC knives ever made. It's that good. So hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you're on the waiting list, we'll commiserate down below and talk about how we're waiting to get one. But a very, very cool knife from North Arm. Awesome job, guys. And from all accounts, I hear great people to deal with too. So congratulations, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this. Have a good one.